I am Iron Man.
Hello there.
Avengers!
All right. Welcome to Stars of Marvel, episode 46. This episode, we're breaking down we're talking about Loki season 2, specifically episodes 1 through 4, which are the most current up-to-date episodes as we're recording this on November 1st. So the new episode, I believe, comes out tomorrow still, right?
Tomorrow?
They're not taking they're not taking like a week break or anything?
Nope.
Okay. I know some shows do that where they take like a hiatus for like a week or two, and then because this week's episode ended very suspensefully or very cliffhangery.
I was very excited by this episode 4's ending, specifically because my biggest gripe with the show. I'm just gonna get into it. Full spoilers for the ongoing show of Loki,
full spoilers,
episodes 1 to 4.
Yep.
If
you're listening to this, you more than likely have watched it. So,
I assume
again, full spoilers.
So I really like it. Loki is great. It is easily one of the best things being produced. Like quality wise, I think it's easy to compare it to Andor, like for Star Wars. Like I do really like the show. I love the actors. I think Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson have this chemistry that just doesn't exist anywhere else.
They're amazing together.
It's great. It's fantastic. So I have all these great things to say that I will get to. But I do have a hot take here I want to bring in.
Okay.
Because I might just be an idiot and have missed something. And Brendan, you can tell me how I'm wrong right away. But the big issue in the show is that the loom, and this is why I liked how episode 4 ended. The big issue with the show is that, like, in-story issue is that the loom is falling apart and they need to keep the structure of the loom intact. And that's what they got to get a He Who Remains variant, which leads to Victor Timely and all that stuff that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Why? And I hate to be that person, but like, why do we want the loom? Like,
because that's the thing that's creating the sacred timeline.
But we don't. But that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But the whole point of the finale is that of the season 1 finale is there is no sacred timeline now. Like there is, but like
I think he who. So what I've been seeing on this is He Who Remains made the sacred timeline,
right?
And so he had everything written pre-planned of what was going to happen forever. Like even when the sacred timeline collapses, he had a backup plan installed so that way he can still, because the only reason they don't want the sacred timeline to be destroyed is because that releases all the Kang variants, and then the multiverse of war happens yet again, and then He Who Remains comes back into, one of the Kang variants becomes He Who Remains, who then creates the TVA, who then wins the multiverse of war, and then yada yada yada, sacred timeline back in. So,
but I think no, sorry, keep going.
No, the whole thing I've been seeing is everything we've seen in the MCU. I mean, obviously we know now from the ending of season 1 has been predetermined by He Who Remains.
Correct.
But that has been the entirety of life in the 616 MCU has just been it's happened, it's repeated itself, it's going to keep repeating itself until whatever happens in either Kang Dynasty and Secret Invasion will end that loop. So
I think my what I'm trying to say about the show is I feel like, and maybe this is just an issue with Loki as a character, like not a like maybe it's something he has to figure out, is it feels like he's trying to have his cake and eat it too, because they're all for, we're not pruning anymore, because that kills timelines, it kills people, it kills etc. We're not trying to murder all the innocent timelines, but they're trying to keep the loom intact to keep the sacred timeline intact, which prevents other timelines from happening. And that's
But
what I don't understand.
well, that the timelines haven't been created yet. So so created this. I feel like this is the. Don't get me wrong. I love this series. I love the first season. I love everything that's going on in this. But the MCU, and this is what I was talking about earlier, what I wanted to get about in the MCU, they're going way too. There's way too much going on. There's way like the one channel I watch, Screen Crush, is always like, I want to go back to just some colorful gems, like
go back to the tank missiles.
Yeah, like what, like now we're dealing with like quantum physics and like time travel that we've never seen in movies before. Like usually, like Back to the Future time logic. When you go to the past, if you affect something in the past, it's now your future. Well, now in the MCU, like the Hulk explained, if you go to the past, that past is now your future, and I'm sorry. If you go to the past, that past is now your future. If you go back to the future, it's now your past because it's you haven't changed anything. So it's so fucking confusing.
And that's, I think, look, I know I'm overthinking it, but it's the fact that no one else has talked about this, and it's really, I don't get why we cared if the loom exploded. And that's what I was trying to get to was the end of episode 4 is the loom exploding, and I'm like, let's fucking go.
Well, that destroys all the time. That destroys all the timelines though when the loom explodes.
But that's what I don't understand is it shouldn't destroy the timelines. It should destroy the containment of them. They should be able to branch out into everything now.
Yeah.
Like I
guess it doesn't destroy the timelines. It destroys the TVA.
Correct.
The TVA is at the end of time, or is that?
Why do we care about the TVA? That's my like.
I think that's what we're gonna find. I think that's what we're gonna. I mean, why we care the TVA without the timekeepers and without Kang or without He Who Remains?
I think this show. I think what's happening is a learning curve, right? Like we're not murdering timelines. We're also not murdering the TVA. The TVA has to figure out what their part is in this new world. Yeah. This is essentially what it is.
Exactly.
And I think that's probably the point of the whole show. But it sure as heck just like it just feels like it's how can we keep doing what we've been doing, but also change? And that's that I think my thing is I wish that the loom exploded like an episode earlier. I think because I assume the next episode is everyone's going to be on a different timeline, and you're gonna. I think Mobius. I always want to say Morbius. I think Mobius is finally going to see his true self.
Yep.
Like I think we're going to see all sorts of different variant shit, and I'm really excited. This is what I wanted was chaos.
Yeah.
From season 1.
Yeah,
and I just
season
feel like
1 ended in complete chaos, and then it just kind of like, all right, we don't see any of that anymore. I mean, we see a little bit of it in the end of Quantumania, but other than that, we really haven't seen. I mean, I guess you could say Multiverse of Madness and No Way Home were results of the Sacred Timeline collapsing and branching multiverses and yada yada yada. But
and that's it's all good. Like, look, like this is a great show. Like, it's just, I for a show that is so short, 6 episodes, so short.
Okay, so it is a 6-episode series.
Yeah, we only have 2 episodes left. So it's like I wanted this chaos from the start of this season. Yeah, and I think that's my like it's like you just said. There's a lot to cover, and I don't expect this to be like Ahsoka. Go watch our last episode. I don't expect this to be like Ahsoka where it doesn't wrap up. I expect most of this to wrap up. Yeah. I just think
or it clearly leads into something else. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it look, I just had to get that out. That's my critique. It's it's real critical thing.
That's also like a basis of my not the Sacred Timeline, but just like the whole confusing nature of time travel and timelines and this and that and different universe, the difference between a time branch timeline and a different universe and the multiverse and yada yada yada. So going off of I think Loki is probably the best MCU phase 4 and 5 product we've gotten out of both phases. Loki season 1 wasn't. I had zero hopes for that show. I was like, who the fuck cares about Loki?
Oh yeah,
he was a garbage villain in the Avengers. He's some dickhead that nobody wants. And then he had a redemption in Ragnarok. That first season blew my mind. I was like, this is such a good show. I was so excited for the second season. and it has held the fuck up. I will say,
I
like, I love this show. Like,
it's great, and I gotta like, dude, I expected our Kang variant, which is Victor Timely for season 2.
mhm.
I expected him to be in an episode tops.
Yeah, or like a
Victor
part of an
Timely
episode. Yeah,
has been fantastic. Now,
yeah,
mind you, he's goner. I don't
yeah. Oh
know if
yeah.
we're gonna get another variant or if that's it.
I've heard theories on what happened, and I like what I'm hearing. So
Okay, I don't know, but like even if that's all we got of him, like he was great.
amazing.
And
Yeah,
I mean he played a different, that's the crazy thing about not only Kang, but like Jonathan Majors' acting is like
yeah,
he played a completely different character in this season
yeah,
than last season, than in Quantum Manium, like Ania, whatever.
yeah. Whichever one. Yeah,
Like he just did such a great job, and this is just a new person.
yeah.
I regarding Victor Timely, and I'm curious if this is part of the rumor or whatever you heard,
Mhm.
but like I'm curious if they're going to explain why a Kang variant was in the whatever hundreds
Oh yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get him.
So I have heard a theory on so like when Miss Minutes, which we'll get on that in a little bit. I think
Yep.
I'm so glad they're doing more with her character, Miss
Yeah.
Minutes and Ravonna. But when Renslayer goes back in time and the key detail is when they travel to these different places is to see where it says like when it comes up saying 1869, but it'll say either like sacred timeline or branch timeline or this or that. When she goes back, she's on the sacred timeline and hands that book to, you know, a young Victor Timely. People have theorized that Kang specifically put that boy in that spot, or He Who Remains, can't whatever, put that boy in that spot as a failsafe for if when he dies, they can send Miss Minutes will send someone back, in time to hand off that book to then restart the TVA, because then he eventually, more than likely, and so jumping into the ending of, sort of the ending of episode 4, when they're trying to save the loom and Victor Timely's bringing out the whatever that device
the machine
that
piece,
that
I forget what
that
it's called.
Ouroboros makes, and when he turns into spaghetti and just disappears and disintegrates, I've heard theories that will create the multiverses of Kangs, like all
That's
those
what I was
different
wondering.
Kangs,
Okay.
because all his temporal aura goes into all those multiverses, which then could create, like how Loki kept time slipping, and the way they got him out was they pulled all of his temporal aura out of the loom. I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah, the multiverse loom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's an interesting theory. And I mean, quite honestly, I don't expect an answer to this question of how Victor Timely is in the past.
Yeah.
But if they do explain it, whether it's Kang did it purposefully or if it's Victor Timely splitting creates the multiverse of Kangs, like I'm all for it. Like that's an awesome theory, and I am really excited to see what happens. I do also agree, though. I think not enough is being talked about the fact that so much of this was predetermined by He Who Remains. Like, like this is still like he didn't see past that point, but I think he predicted what was going to happen. And like predetermined it.
Where it's just in a whole loop. It's in an Ouroboros, which what they've stated is
great.
The snake eating its tail. Which, by the way, Kehu Kwan,
he does a great job.
Who plays OB Ouroboros. He is so like I love when he walks up. He's like, "We're all gonna die." Oh, hi, I'm OB. We're all gonna die. Like he's just so innocent and like so like he's not like he's scared and terrified, but he's also just so polite about it. Like I just
his personality is not at all affected by the fact that they are in the highest stakes situation possible.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's doing a great job. I actually have written down between Ouroboros and Victor Timely, like I mean, they're the high points of the show, and they're just both fantastic. I mean, Jonathan Majors we knew was going to be great as Kang some way or another, but like Ouroboros, I found out like I want to say day of that actor was even on the show, like if that, and he's great. He's a great addition to the cast. I was so glad. I thought he was going to be in like one episode as a cameo.
Exactly. Great, that's what I thought too.
Character.
He's been in every episode. Yeah. And I love how so the theory. When they showed He Who Remains wiping everybody in the TVA's mind, as well as Ravonna when he was like wipe their mind, like when he told Miss Minutes to wipe their minds in that
Right.
like,
I
flashback
forgot
scene.
about that already. Yeah.
People have I mean, obviously people have theorized, well, not obviously, but people have theorized that for some reason, and I guess we'll find out in future episodes, in these next 2 episodes, or maybe in future Kang projects, that because he didn't wipe OB's mind. He didn't wipe Ouroboros's mind because he knew who Owen Wilson. He knew who Mobius was because he walks in. He goes, "How long has it been? It's been like what, like 400 years? Like, it's been a very long time." And
And he
OB
doesn't
remembers who
remember.
Mobius is, but Mobius doesn't remember who OB
Yeah.
is. So
Oh,
for some
shit.
reason, he didn't wipe OB's mind. So I've heard a couple different theories. One of them being that OB might possibly be a Kang variant somehow
Oh,
because
God.
he wrote the TVA manual off of the teachings of Victor Timely. But
Right.
Victor Timely created his everything based off of OB's work that he got from the TVA handbook from that Ravonna handed him. So at some point, we don't know who wrote that. We don't know who actually wrote that TVA handbook because OB says he learned it from Victor Timely. Victor Timely says he learned it from OB. So it's like, but so he's definitely some sort of important, really important.
Wow.
Character.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. And see, that's the shit that I love. Like
exactly,
that's the like what is that because that's a great wow, that's from episode 1.
Yeah.
Is that he remembers meeting Mobius and Mobius doesn't. Wow, that's a great detail. Spot on by whoever caught that. Like that's crazy.
That was a new Rockstar's catch.
The Kang variant would be interesting. It'd be an interesting way to get around the Jonathan Majors bit, which I'm going to hold off on.
Yeah.
It also, I don't know. I loved the scene. I forget what episode it is. If that was just this episode 4, when you see Miss Minutes and Kang talking. Well, Miss Minutes and He Who Remains talking, and he's like wiped their memories and all that. Like that scene is great.
Yeah,
and it's also like scary because it shows you that all of these variants at the TVA were part of his army. Like they were, they fought for him. Like he used variants against the other variants, and that's crazy. Like just the thought that goes into like how deceptive He Who Remains is what's insane to me. It's creepy good. It makes a good villain, dude. I think it comes down to that.
I've also heard rumors that that Victor Timely eventually turns into the Kang the Conqueror we see in Quantumania, and that Kang the Conqueror eventually turns into He Who Remains.
I mean, that I would love that because I would love full circle Aurora stuff. Like I definitely kind of want to connect these variants somehow. I do think if Victor Timely comes back and he's not spaghetti for the rest of the show, I do think he is somehow going to become He Who Remains. Like especially Miss Minutes when she's getting rebooted and says she's like, oh, blah blah blah, but that you'll never be him. Like I to me that's foreshadowing that he literally will be. He like she's just wrong. He will be him.
He literally will be He Who Remains. Like you're talking to him, he's just he's not the same guy you remember.
Right, exactly. He's eons from becoming that person yet. Like
and I like I was saying earlier how I wanted to jump in. Sorry if I'm cutting you off of your train of thought. I love how they've dove deeper into like the character of Miss Minutes, because I feel like she was just like a gimmick in the first season. Like, oh, it's the little AI thing the TVA uses.
Some Ultron vibes now.
Yeah, like when Renslayer and Brad Wolf, whatever the rogue TVA agent. And when they're crushing all the TVA agents in that like box thing, like they're all kind of standing there like, like have this like hard look on their face, like, oh, this is gross. And Miss Minutes is just sitting there laughing, like
she's smiling.
Like has joy on her face, like, oh, look at
she loves all of the death and destruction. She is psychotic, and it's again, I hope she's not gone forever from the show, but like she's a great character that's really getting fleshed out this season in a way that's she is, He Who Remains his ally, like for sure. Like that's the level of like deceit that.
And I mean, the perfect casting for Miss Minute, Tara Strong. I don't know.
I know.
She like for those of you who don't know who that is, she has voiced literally probably every female like nerd character you've ever wanted. She's the voice of Harley Quinn. I believe she's the voice of Raven in Teen Titans.
Yep. Batgirl as well from
Batgirl.
Batman.
Yep.
And she's also done a bunch of Timmy Turner.
Yes. Yep.
There's another Ben 10, I think, is another one.
Yeah.
I think there's another guy. And from Rugrats, Dill Pickles.
Oh, Dill. Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. She's in everything. And
amazing.
That's what I know she's
I think she's one of
a
the
pretty well-known
girls,
voice
too.
actress, and like for her to be like I don't think I haven't heard her do a Southern accent character before.
No,
it's just like there's that span of acting, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right next to Jonathan Majors, going from the most confident man in the world to someone who can barely get a sentence out without like their like second thought. You know what I mean? Like it's such a different. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I mean, he went to the Yale School of Acting, which is apparently like one of the most prestigious acting schools.
Yeah.
So I mean, it truly shows how good of I mean, from He Who Remains to Kang in Quantumania to the multiple Kangs we saw at the end of Quantumania to now Victor Timely. I mean, they've just been all completely different. Like,
yeah,
it almost doesn't seem like the same actor. Like,
yeah, exactly. He is doing the idea of variance to the extreme, and it's amazing. Like the fact that He Who Remains and Kang the Conqueror from Quantumania wasn't the same person is still insane. Like
mind-boggling. Yeah.
Like they were the two that were the most similar and still not the same character.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's wild. I love it. I'm really curious where they're gonna go with it. That's the other thing is I have no idea. Like as opposed to Ahsoka, and I hate that I feel like I'm dunking on Ahsoka, but like we knew, right? Thrawn was gonna escape. We knew Thrawn was gonna be back. He was gonna return. That was gonna be the end of the show. I have no idea how this ends.
And that's how I felt in the first season of Loki. I was like, I don't know where they're going because this is uncharted territory.
Well, see, we didn't have the podcast yet, or did we?
No, not for Loki. No,
because I do want to say, I didn't know what was going to happen. Especially, I didn't expect Kang at the end of the show.
Yeah,
I did figure it had to end with the end of the Sacred Timeline because I knew What If was coming out, and the concept of What If doesn't make sense with the Sacred Timeline.
Timeline's breaking. Yeah,
so. I even like season 1 was like, all right, somehow the timeline has to break. How's it going to happen? I did not expect He Who Remains. I remember jumping off the couch in excitement. Like that was insane. This dude, I don't like, is Kang the end of this show? Is it
right?
Loki? Like, is he like, this is like, does he find his next purpose? Like, I don't know what the end of season 2 is. Is there a season 3? Like,
I've heard rumors. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen at the end of season 2, but I've heard rumors for like possibly the Kang Dynasty or things going on in between then and Secret Wars. That Loki will become like the head of the TVA. Like he will become the He Who Remains of the TVA because him and Sylvie are pretty much that now. I mean,
that line, I'm pretty sure that was episode 4 where she's like, we're pretending to be gods or something. And then he goes, we are gods. And then he fucking mic drops and walks out.
It's insane to think about because you completely forget that Loki is a god. Like he's a Norse god. Like, you know, like he's thousands of years old, and you're just like, oh, just some dude that, you know, has magic. But you're like, no, he's something people worshipped back in the day. Like
it was honestly after that line, I was sitting there and like, shit, sometimes I forget Loki is Loki. Mm-hmm. Like I know who Loki is, but sometimes you made the joke about Avengers earlier. Sometimes I forget it's that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's the kneel before me guy. Right. You know, like
because they don't use. I forget the rules and what are the rules, and I'm not gonna go but he doesn't usually use magic at the TVA, and I don't know if that's still a thing while he's there.
They have some power dampener bullshit. It's probably because they turn it off when they reset the TVA in episode 4.
But I completely agree with if it was your theory or a theory you found or whatever. Like I do think Loki will be. It'll be Loki and Mobius like hand in hand, head of the TVA. Yeah. Like if you fucking kill Mobius, I swear, oh my god, that is not funny, Marvel.
I know, right? Don't
not kill Mobius. but I do think it's going to be Loki at the head of the TVA. Mike, I just don't know if that's this season. I think that's the
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know.
I guess technically that makes sense because originally Kang Dynasty was supposed to be next year. I think it's now 25.
I believe so. Yeah, I
There's
guess
no way
with all
that's
the,
even started filming.
with
So
all the acting strikes and writer strikes, I'm sure everything's going to be delayed at least a year and a half or two. So
yeah, so and the last thing we need right now is to rush it. Like,
yeah, and I'm sure, unfortunately, Jonathan Majors is going through all these legal battles and troubles. So
I thought all that got taken care of.
I thought it did too, but I guess more things resurfaced or more charges were pressed.
I don't know, man.
I don't know the full extent of anything. I didn't do any research on it, so
Yeah,
don't take my don't people listening don't take my word for truth. I don't know anything that's going on. I just think it's
canceled
and canceled. Yeah, I just think it's a bummer that such a great actor. He's so good in the role, and I don't think they're gonna take him out unless he's like is going to be doing jail time for whatever happened.
I don't know. I don't know.
But I mean, he has been an amazing actor, an amazing
he's been an asset, dude. Like so I don't know. I guess I don't know. I just really I don't know. I really enjoy his character. I really enjoy his acting. I hope the best. I can't.
My whole thing right now. So this has to do with Loki, but it also has to do with just if you're okay with it, the MCU is a whole right now. Let's thing that's making me upset is there's way too much going on in the MCU right now. Like, they want to focus on the multiverse, but whatever's going on with like Secret Invasion and like Captain America and all that Brave New World stuff, like that's obviously doesn't have anything to do with multiverse.
The multiverse. Yeah. Or it shouldn't.
Yeah, and I don't think anything in the Marvels is going to have to do with the multiverse. Like, it has to do with like supernatural powers and whatever. I just think they have too many. They got too many. I don't know what the right phrase.
Too many cooks.
Too many cooks.
Too many hands in the pot. Too many hands in the kitchen. Like,
too many people
in
the kitchen. There's so much going on. Like She-Hulk, and I understand they're trying to do like, all right, we're gonna have like Spider-Man and Daredevil and like all these people be like the ground level heroes, and then we'll have like the new Guardians and the Marvels and all them be the cosmic heroes. But it's like that made sense for phases 1 through 3 because then you brought that group of 15 main characters together for the end of Endgame, like that culmination. It's like, where the hell is this going to culminate? Because we got so much going on, so many storylines. They're not focusing solely on the multiverse like they were when they were focusing in the Infinity Saga. They focused pretty much solely on the not the gems, but the Infinity Stones and Thanos collecting them and yada yada yada, and introducing each one throughout the movies. I just feel like it's getting, if they just stuck with like they did WandaVision and then let WandaVision lead into like No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, and then did like did like Loki season 1 and 2 type stuff where it all fits in the multiverse. Because like, I don't know, I don't know. It's just that's
the argument, dude. It's so we've talked about it before. I don't think the quality has gone down as much as people say. I think it's just been diluted. It's been overexposure, but I think you are correct that a lot of it doesn't have to do with the end game. Like, no pun intended. Like, but the current end game, a lot of it doesn't have to do. I'm sure, She-Hulk will show up in Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean her storyline has anything to do with it. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah.
There's other ways you can introduce characters that cuts down on that overexposure, so to speak. Wow, I can't believe we're at that 10 minutes already.
I know. Yeah.
I think you're onto something basically by saying like you needed more things that are intertwined with the overall multiverse story.
Yeah.
Like, we like No Way Home because of Spider-Man, but we also like it because it's got the whole continuity going with it. We like the Multiverse of Madness for the same reason, I would even go as far as to say like Shang-Chi gets involved in there with the artifact of his rings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
like there's a lot of good in the Marvel universe
See, and
still,
that's sorry to cut you off, but that's
no,
another thing. Like, I completely forgot about Shang-Chi. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that was such a good movie and such a great character
there
and
was
a
just
great
so much other
actor.
stuff
But
in the way.
yeah, like we had fucking Eternals. Where the hell are they gonna come in and all this
I
bullshit? I
just
don't want
don't
to,
even.
you know,
And that's the crazy thing is they should be involved, but like
right?
no
Because
one
that would
wants
be,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So it's Secret Invasion, and then it's
And then
Eternals.
yeah.
God
Uh,
damn, Secret Invasion. What am I gonna have to? Oh God, I just hate Secret Invasion so fucking much.
Such a let. That should have been the one Screen Crush, the one channel I watched. They're like, they should have just saved that for an Avengers movie. That was
And
like
that would have
one of the
been
biggest crossover comics they had, and like,
well, and that's the other thing too is they're not they're this is we're pretty much fully into this territory, but like they're not doing the in between stuff like Age of Ultron. So many people were like, "Oh, Age of Ultron stinks." Age of Ultron doesn't stink.
no, it was a great movie.
It was just it was a parallel Marvel movie. Like
Yeah.
it didn't have
Well,
higher stakes, it didn't have lower stakes, and that's what like
Age of
Secret
Ultron
Invasion would have
yeah,
been Age of Ultron for this saga.
exactly. Yeah.
But instead they're like, oh, we're just going right to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars.
Well,
and
and
it's like,
it would have been a
are
because
we?
like Age of Ultron was like the perfect way to show how the Avengers are splitting up. Like, you know, it showed the
Yeah.
tension between Tony and Bruce, Tony and Steve. You know,
And
like
and you know what that would have been great for with Secret Wars is to point out, oh, there's no actual team right now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I think Thunderbolts is kind of gonna do that, but like you need an Avengers team.
yeah.
Like it's yeah. I'm worried. I'm at that point. I also so we haven't talked about it, but I think this is we'll just tie it into this at this point. But
Yeah.
like Variety came out with a bunch of Marvel leaks, I think is the best way. I don't think they're rumors. I think they're leaks.
Just leaks, huh?
If Variety reported on them.
Yeah.
And the big thing being that they're going to replace Kang with Doom because of Jonathan Major's legal issue. And the other issue being that they're trying to bring back Robert Downey Jr., Natasha, Scarlett Johansson, and Chris Evans as Iron Man, Black Widow, and Captain America. And the word I read was revive. And it's like if you I don't even I actually just talked to Valerie about this. Shout out Valerie, but like we just talked about how like I don't even want them to have a cameo in Secret Wars.
No,
because
yeah, like
Secret Wars I want to have like Tobey Maguire or like the other know what I mean though?
Have the guys from the original Fantastic Four or something like
yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
But if you were to tell me the original Avengers cast showed up in Secret Wars as a cameo, that's fine.
Not like, as main characters.
But if Marvel or Disney, I don't know who, like this feels like a Disney move. If Disney thinks, oh, we got to bring them back, that was a mistake. No, now you're not understanding the point of what's happening right now. Like the Jonathan Major stuff, that blows. But if that's what happens at the end of the day, you can't. It's the world we live in, and it sucks to suck. And God damn it, do I hate it.
Make better decisions next time, Jonathan Majors.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's what if he is guilty and he is what he is, like that sucks, but it's Disney, they're not gonna they barely let fuck, I always forget his Tim Allen. They barely let Tim Allen do Santa Claus because he had a DUI on his record.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But anyway, like the Jonathan Major stuff, it's kind of like it's just out of your hands. Like unfortunately, this might be a topic for another day. I'd rather them recast and dump Kang entirely.
Yeah.
Again, topic for another day, maybe. But holy shit, bringing back the original Avengers is not the answer.
No, we do not need that right now. Like that their story is done. They wrapped it up perfectly. Endgame was a masterpiece. Yeah.
We are Marvel's shining knights right now, saying how we are the ones saying the things that we still like about the Marvel universe, which I do. That's not a lie that I still like most of what's coming out. But
it's just so much and so many new things happening that don't seem to be intertwining, and bringing back the original Avengers is not going to fix that. That's just 1000% fan service. That's what that is. Or new fan service.
Like that's just not. It's not good.
No.
So Endgame came out in 2018 or 19, right? 2019,
2018, I think.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, 28 because
Infinity War came out in
2017.
You're right.
Yeah,
Holy shit. Anyway,
Damn.
So Endgame came out in 2018, so we won't have seen them. Like it'll have been probably 10 years when Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars comes out.
Yeah.
So like kind of like that, like for cameo, like yeah, that makes sense as a
cameo would be cool. Yeah.
oh, it's been a decade. Also, holy shit, we've been watching these for another 10 years. But like I just don't bring them back, man.
Like
the last thing I want is Iron Man full time again.
You know,
what about cool? Ironheart? Like,
yeah, exactly. They already have a new Iron
your things, man.
Yeah, or like instead of like have the cameo of Robert Downey Jr. or whatever. Like even if it's just like a flashback or something. Don't even have them but like it would be cooler to have like other well-known actors who were up for the roles play have Tom Cruise be Superior's Iron Man. One of the I forget who it is, but there was another big no, I guess you couldn't do that because he was Mr. Fantastic. But
DiCaprio Spider-Man.
Yeah, DiCaprio Spider-Man, or you could have like someone because I know John Krasinski went out for Captain America.
That's right. I forgot about that.
But he was Mr. Fantastic, so
he's not really
Mr.
Mr.
Fantastic.
So. My big thing is like so in one of my favorite comics before Miles and Peter were in the same universe. Yeah, and I'm going full nerd mode here. But one of my favorite comics is called Spider-Man. It's the first time the main universe Peter meets Miles Morales. And essentially, Miles never met Peter in his universe. Peter dies in that universe. It's very similar to what happened into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
But they never even meet. So our Peter gives Miles his blessing to be Spider-Man. And it's this like heartwarming moment. If you have stuff like that, like you bring Robert Downey Jr. to give Ironheart his blessing, or you have, or what would probably be the real moment is Chris Evans, Captain America, like shaking hands with Anthony Mackie, Captain America, like saying like you're doing a great job, man, keep it up, like something like that, like that would be beautiful.
And Widow talking to Yelena, like like
you're
hey,
doing
a
great,
keep the legacy going, like
going. I like the vest on you, something like that, like those. Give me moments like that, and I will cry. I will be like, hell yes, I love it so much. But like, don't just be like, oh, I'm from another universe and I'm here to stay. Iron Man's back.
Yeah,
like that I don't need, and that will ruin it.
Yeah, yeah. We don't need that to happen. Yeah, that would be a huge letdown.
Yeah, I agree. That's yeah. Yeah, I don't have. I think we're on the same page. I don't think there's much more to say that. I really hope that's. I really hope that's not true. It's. I don't know, man. There's been so many things, like, and that's the other thing is there's been so. I mean, there was rumors Kevin Feige wanted to hit the brakes with Marvel. There's been rumors that they were going to stop Disney. Like, there's so much like talk right now.
Yeah,
and we just.
Not enough action.
Well, there's just no, and I don't know how much of it is because of the strikes, like that keep it like, like so. I kind of need a Feige press conference is what I feel like. I need him to come out and be like, look, this is what's happening. Like no Comic-Con, no Disney D23. Like
just have them do like almost like a
Like look, I know there's been a lot of
union type thing. Yeah,
exactly. A president's speech or fireside chat or something.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, have it stream live on Disney Plus or something.
Yeah, I kind of need it because there's been too much from other people's mouths. I need confirmation on what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's I mean, all in all, though, I am 1000% enjoying this season of Loki. I am so. I know we took a complete derailment on there, but
I'd say I'm 99% enjoying it. Yeah, so I mean, bringing it back to Loki, I mean, I think we talked enough about the Marvel future stuff. It's nothing I think nothing we said was really too new. It's just the confirmation of fears, I think, is what we were essentially going off of. But going off of Loki, which is good, great. Hopefully we can keep things like that going. 2 episodes left in the season. I truly think the next episode is going to be a big Mobius episode. I think we're definitely going to see his real life.
Oh yeah,
hoping for that jet ski.
In the trailer, in the trailer, sorry to cut you off. In the trailer, there is a scene where Loki time slips, and it's in front of a power sports power sports building, and there's like jet skis out front for sale. So that's something we haven't seen yet. Maybe it was cut, but This could be in the next
I mean,
episode
what
or
you're
two.
saying is there's going to be more time slipping, probably.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
wondering if he's like the explosion of or the black hole that's created from the
the loom.
loom, failing, possibly sends Loki back into time slipping.
Huh. I am curious about that. Like, it would make sense that Loki has to save the day. Like, Loki has to bring everyone back to the TVA somehow or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
I have no idea how they're going to do that either. Like,
yeah,
there is no loom. So what is there
what
to
have?
save? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. And again, we talked about it earlier, but I'm so excited at how blind I am to the end of the show.
yeah,
Or at
and
least the end of
it's a
I
it's a fun thing to be in this situation. Yeah,
I I feel like you got to go 3 seasons. I think they're gonna set up a third season.
yeah,
I won't be disappointed if it's like to be continued in Kang Dynasty or something like that at the
yeah,
end of this. Like if it ends, it ends. Like I'm okay with that.
yeah,
Like we don't need to make, but I think there's a lot on the table that they're gonna have to tie up somewhere else.
yeah,
If that's not true, and yeah, I'm pumped. And I think Waldron is the writer's name. Good for him. And
yeah,
I'm excited to see Kang Dynasty. It better happen.
yeah.
But I don't know where this goes. Like maybe another thing I could see in the next episode or the next 2 episodes is we already talked about Victor Timely becoming He Who Remains because he's now in the timeline. Like, do we see him kind of jump forward in time and become He Who Remains already? Like,
yeah,
I so many things could happen. I do think the big thing is Mobius. I do think we see some Kang variants. I just don't know how many or to what extent.
yeah.
I think that's going to be what I predict for episode 5, and hopefully we got a 5 recap for you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what I love anything to do with like black holes or like
I know.
and like when they showed that like black hole forming and everything getting sucked in, I was like, "Ooh, that is awesome."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was a crazy way to end the which I thought was the mid-season finale, but we only have 2 episodes left. So it was a crazy way to end the penultimate episode.
You know what else is funny? As I actually thought we were going to get someone. I thought someone was going to successfully put the machine out there and die in the process. And I thought it was going to be Casey, and that was going to be our Coulson moment.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Like,
yeah,
like
when,
character, I've kind of grown attached to just a little bit, but I also don't really care if he dies.
He's not like a main character, but he is like he's the guy. He's the that guy's funny. That guy is actually a really funny actor, Eugene Cordero. He's an improv actor.
He's great.
Really funny.
I love Casey. Like, but that's what I thought he was going to be the one to make the sacrifice play because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if Casey dies.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, Casey's about, and then it was Kang or it was Victor Timely. I was like, oh, okay, well he's fine, and then dead. Like,
God, yeah,
I was shocked. Still, that's So I'm pumped. I'm pumped to see how it happens.
Yeah, it's I've said it about a million times, but yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. Again, I feel like Ahsoka. Like I can't wait for Thursday. I mean, I guess Ahsoka was Tuesday, but I can't wait for the episode to drop. So.
I am not a Thursday fan. I gotta say,
no, it's too late in the week.
It's too late in the week. You got Thursday Night Football, which I don't watch, but like
if the Eagles are playing, we got you.
Right.
Got it.
I'm gonna watch it if the Eagles play, but like, and I don't know. I've missed a couple of these Thursday night drops. Like, it's not Tuesday. Tuesday's an easy. Like, I got nothing going on Tuesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday were good. We're good drop date. Good episode release days. But Thursday's a bit. Thursday can be tricky.
I mean, I guess I'll make it work. Yeah.
Fix your shit, Marvel. Fix your shit, Disney.
Did you know? I this is kind of unrelated. I feel like this is good. So there's a big like rumor talk around the movie scene is that Apple wants to buy Disney, and really? I was like, oh, there's no way. Like, and I just looked up the stock net worth. Apple's worth like $2 trillion, and Disney's worth only 1.8 billion. Like
only,
or not 108 billion. Like, it's ridiculous.
Some crazy amount of money.
But somehow Apple does like just completely surpass that.
I can imagine. I mean, everybody pretty much has an iPhone, or iPad, or Mac, or
I know, but
something along those.
I really didn't think it would be that much more than Disney. Like I'm shocked. Anyway, I
With
was
the
just
amount of
looking
shit
into
that
that.
Disney owns, yeah, you'd
Right,
think.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I saw today was Disney is trying to buy out Hulu. So Disney owns most of Hulu, but they don't
Yeah, as I say, because
own
they
it.
own Fox and Fox owns Hulu and yada
They
yada
they
yada.
own
But
like 50% of the stock or something. So they're trying to buy out Hulu, and
I have
people were just
I have
talking about that.
I have noticed that a lot of Disney Plus shows are on Hulu now. Like that new
Yeah.
Goosebump show is on there.
They keep doing limited drops. So they'll put
Yeah,
it on Hulu for like a month and then be like, now you got to go watch it on Disney
yeah,
Plus.
because they did that for uh, it was an MCU show, but I
Werewolf by
forget.
Night they did.
Yes, that's what it
That
was.
was
That's
on
what it was.
Hulu
Yeah.
for I think like only a week, maybe
Yeah.
two. But then it was like, psych, get it out.
And out of here.
Outta
Yeah.
here. Also, Marvel drop Across the Spider-Verse is on Netflix. So if you have not seen
yeah.
it,
I'm watching that tonight.
I watched it. So I bought it on DVD and digital. So
Yeah.
I watched it like 3 times last week, and then I read it was on Netflix. I was like, okay,
we gotta watch it.
I gotta watch it.
I literally I saw that. You know how like when you turn on Netflix and like if you let it go for like 5 minutes, it starts showing like the banners of everything that's on. It showed Across the Spider-Verse, and I was like, oh, and I like clicked it, and it's a coming Tuesday. I was like, oh man, and then that was last week, but I completely forgot about it, so I'm 1000% turning that on tonight.
Got my Venom hoodie on.
Ooh.
I also have been playing Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, have you been playing it? I've been watching someone play it, so
I was debating like streaming it. I was just like, I'm just enjoying it. This is what I mean. I can talk about it on the podcast.
There you go. It's from what I've seen, I haven't watched too much of it. I got up. Have you played all of it or most of it? Or
no? So I'm still, I don't know how many hours in, but like I haven't even gotten the black suit yet. So
okay, then I won't.
I feel like I'm like 10 hours in, and I still have like I'm still.
There's a lot of side stuff in it.
There's a lot to do. Yeah. I think there's Spider-Verse stuff.
Yeah,
I just got a mission that you're finding spider bots throughout the city, and they all have different logos on it.
Oh,
and I'm like, I think this might be a Spider-Verse plot line. I'm
it
curious
could be
where that goes.
But yeah, I from what I've seen of the game so far, it looks like, because those games, it's like oh, or they're just gonna copy and paste what happened in, copy and paste the fighting style and the moves and all that. But like the wing web suit and everything in the game, and like how you can do like the fast traveling through those like wind tunnel things. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty neat. It's very fun. I enjoy it a lot. There's some gameplay mechanics I'm still getting used to, like some slight changes from the last one that's like it's just different enough that I'm like still learning curving it, but it's so much fun, dude. I really
I might get the first one, like the PC version. I might get that and play that.
Yeah, it's on I think they're
Steam.
on sale for Steam. I saw.
Oh, really?
They were. Yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it. I loved Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales' Spider-Man. Both games were great. I have the Miles Morales one on my computer too. I was playing it on my laptop in the hotel last week.
Yeah.
just to give me that Spider-Man itch, man.
Give you that fix. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah. That'll do it for episode 46. Let us know what you think of Loki season 2 so far. Episodes 1 through 4 or 5 if that's out by now. And also the fate of the MCU. What the hell's going on? Are you still feeling are you feeling fatigued? Are you feeling still pumped about what's going on? Do you think there's too many cooks in the kitchen? Do you think there's not enough cooks in the kitchen? How is this gonna, so let us know.
Drop a like.
Hey. Or hit that subscribe button if you're listening. You're not subscribed already. Oh, and I know we said, I guess now 2 episodes ago, that we will be doing the drawing. I know we explained on one episode, I got married. So that took a week or 2 off of recording scheduling, and then when we got back, we were both busy and stuff, so we didn't have time to get things recorded. But we will eventually be giving away, and Zach just showed it. We do have a Amazon gift card, a $25
Amazon gift card,
$25, right?
$25
Amazon gift card.
I think,
yeah. Might have had some pop spot on it, but
I might have used it. I don't know. We'll see.
A $25 gift card will take the subscriber list, put it in a random name or one of those random generators. We'll click the button, and whoever lands on, we'll send you a DM. And if you don't respond in a week or so, then we'll. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, maybe we just save it and do it at the Loki finale.
You want to do the Loki
2
finale?
weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2
So
weeks. Yeah.
so hey, if you know anyone that wants an Amazon gift card, tell them come subscribe.
Subscribe.
Maybe we get that sort of a little blah.
You can get
Grab a
new
like. Maybe I'll do something. It won't, but
it's free. And you can you get $25 for free and get yourself a new Loki Funko Pop because they look pretty cool. So.
Did you get Victor Timely?
Nah, yeah. Is it on sale? Like, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that because I saw them on. I saw a couple of the Loki ones and it said, "Oh, being released this day or this day." So okay, well, that's what I'm buying when
gotta get your Kang collection going, dude.
Oh yeah,
I am all for this Kang collection existing.
I got 2 up there. I got He Who Remains and then the Kang from Quantumania up next to Thanos.
Oh, I forgot you got the unmasked Kang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Get Victor Timely. Let's go.
Get the Kangs going, baby. Oh, now my camera's gonna fall. There we go. But yeah, that'll do it for episode 46, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.